Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to the Tonya Harbin Real Estate Hour. For the next 30 minutes, we're going to talk real estate, how to buy it, how to sell it, how to make the most out of your investment. One of the cool parts about it is that here in West Texas, here in the big country, and anywhere throughout the Lone Star State, you can contact my favorite real estate agent in the whole wide world because she's honest, she's got integrity, and on top of that, you are not a customer, you're not a client, you become part of her fan base. And I am a raving fan of Tonya Harbin because when it comes time to buy or sell, especially if you have family and kids, and you worry about your kids making sure they make the right deal to get their own place, you need somebody you can trust. Somebody with integrity. That name is Tonya Harbin. I always say that about you, Tonya. You have integrity, you're honest, and you know what? You make us want to work with you because one of the things that I like to run commercials from time to time and say things like, you know, I only do business with people that I do business with, that I know. I only talk about on the radio, the people that I know. I only talk about people that I know and I've used their services and I've been around them. And you have integrity. That's number one. Nobody can destroy your integrity. You do it yourself. So thank you for what you do. And the other thing is trust. I love Tonya Harbin Real Estate, brokered by Real because of trust. And without further ado, Miss Tonya Harbin, I have a song for you. I love you, Tonya. Oh, yes, I do. I love you, Tonya. I love you, true. Good morning,
Rudy.
Start the day the right way, huh?
That's right.
And I mean what I say when I say integrity and honesty. And one of the things is you got to have trust. And seriously, in Texas, trust is a number one thing. And it starts with a handshake for a lot of farmers and ranchers around here. You know, if you make a deal with someone and you shake, did you know that's a law? It's a binding contract when you shake hands. All right, without further ado, Tonya, how is the housing market? Man, I've seen pink signs everywhere. What are you doing?
Well, it's been really busy.
All right.
Rates are somewhat down. Yes, so that's been exciting, and people are out looking at houses and finally moving.
All right, so my question to you is the rates are down. You, as a professional, Tonya Harbin Real Estate, brokered by Real, and your awesome team, I know you do tons of research and everything. Do you think the numbers will go down even more? The interest rate, the federal?
It's hard to say.
All right. Well, I've been trying to keep up with what's going on in D.C., and it looks like we may get another little bump here, but it's going to be probably right before the holidays. Merry Christmas!
That's right.
All right. So with that going on, how about home building in Abilene? Are we starting to see more homes being built? That AI center, they're saying, is bringing billions of dollars to Abilene.
Yeah, there are so many brand new homes going up, so it's been a little bit crazy. So I think it's harder, most difficult for builders to find lots to build on, too.
All right, off the record, I'll turn the microphones off for you so you can answer this. But do you like working with selling new homes, or would you prefer selling existing homes? And that's a loaded question because I got a follow-up.
Honestly, I like both. I mean, they're different.
I knew that was going to be all of them. And then, of course, there's the business side, right?
Right.
You like doing business with businesses where you're selling businesses as well, right?
Right.
Wow. All right. So if you've got money that you want to invest in real estate, Tonya Harbin is the number to call, 325-603-3550, 325-603-3550. She or some of her teammates will be answering that phone.
That's right.
Even if you call them this early on a Saturday morning. All right. Without further ado, you brought a special guest with you. It's Kate Alvarez. She's with the city of Abilene, and I happen to know that she's got a little, because I'll let you all talk about it. I want to introduce you. Welcome, Kate.
Thank you.
Tonya Harbin Real Estate, brokered by Real, is a radio show and a podcast that Miss Tonya does, and we like to share the success of Abilene. Abilene is huge in the Lone Star State. As a matter of fact, I just wrote another article, but this one has nothing to do about buying or selling. But recently, a youth leader got murdered up in Utah somewhere, and I decided I was going to do a little research on that. Do you know that Texas is the #1 state for faith? I did not know that because we have more people that are faith-based and all that. And then Abilene, ranks up there in the top 5 cities in the Lone Star State. But we've got Abilene Christian University, we've got Hardin-Simmons University, we got McMurray. We have a lot. This is kind of like, what do they call it? The buckle?
The buckle of the Bible Belt.
Yes. And so they even brought that up in this article they published on the Wall Street Journal, of which they say you're in the top 1% of real estate agents in America. So, Kate, do you understand? We've got the one with the plan.
Yeah.
The madame with the plan.
Right. Absolutely.
All right. Tonya Harbin. And so she sells a lot of homes.
Yeah.
What about used homes? Because there's a lot of them that I see that are run down and they need some help. And Tonya, what do you tell them to do?
To rehab them.
To what now?
To rehab them.
To rehab them.
Yes.
All right. So how do you rehab them? Because you have a special plan and a program with the City of Abilene. Share all that with us.
Sure, I'd love to. Really long time coming. Our city council has been watching, pay attention, in touch with what we know as a national issue of affordable housing. And so long before a data center or a Dias expansion, we already were hitting a point of needing to remedy affordable housing. And then what also sort of falls congruently with that is that inside our city limits, in our historical neighborhoods, they are just that. They are historical. And they have smaller lot sizes. They were built differently. They were built with different codes and regulations, or lack thereof. And then as time goes on, those lots turn into something different. Sometimes folks from generation to generation lose sight of even owning the property, those types of things. And so ultimately what we saw across the board in the past, I would say longer than 5 years, but certainly this past 5 years, we saw a need to infill. And it's an industry term, infill development. But the idea is that we're doing just that. We're taking empty lots that are already existing. They're already zoned for residential. They're a little bit smaller because they're in the historic neighborhoods, districts that were built in the early 1900s. Small homes is all we were sort of thinking at that time. And so we saw a way to sort of fulfill one piece of what we were doing, which was cleaning up our neighborhoods. We have some eyesores. We have some things that does not fit within our code of ordinances in a lot of these properties. And so we got to working pretty fast, started looking at those lots, getting them cleaned up, talking with our owners, working with all of our property owners. What do you want to do with this property? It's not inhabitable. Do you want to rehab it? Does it need to be demolished so something new can come to life of a wonderful space close to downtown, maybe, right? Walkable to some places and events and things to do. And so ultimately what came of that was, how do we get them to build? So we're going to get these empty lots, or we're going to find these homes that need rehabilitation. Now we need these builders to come in and build. What we understood, too, is that we have some areas that are thriving in some big number house prices, which is really great for our community. But we were back to that affordable housing thing again. And so our mayor and our city council derived a great program in our most recent previous city manager, and it is the Rebuild ABI Infill Development Program. We launched it in our FY 24, so in October of 23 is actually when we launched the program. And for each year, we have designated $1 million to incentivize builders to build on inside our historical neighborhoods that we've designated. We've got some maps for our builders to look at. It's a lot of space. We have a lot of historical neighborhoods in Abilene, which is great, inside the city limits. And so what we've done is set up a way to incentivize our builders. So our builders will come in and they can build a brand new home on an empty lot, or rehab new homes, which we really like to hear when that home just sort of hit that mark, but it still could have some life, those good bone homes as we hear them. And we also incentivize builders to do a major renovation. Our major renovations are just that. They are major. We are asking you to go down to studs and replace windows and all of that. And so what it's done is it did just what we had hoped it to do. We are able to fulfill 30 to 35 projects annually with that $1 million that is coming out of our general fund of the city of Abilene. And in current, we have been able to fulfill 70 projects. We've sold over 25 homes to new home buyers. And the beauty of this is these are homes that cost anything at $200,000 or less. Part of our program, we have some criteria within it, of course, and one of them is that the house cannot be sold for over $203,000. And what that's doing is what we've learned from our real estate friends and our banks is it really is fulfilling a niche. There's a need for folks at about that $200,000 mark, those first-time home buyer programs. There's a lot of those out there. Our banks are offering them more and more. Thank you. Interest rates and changes in that. And so we're seeing it sort of do this really neat domino effect. We're getting our neighborhoods cleaned up. There is a rise, the all boats rise, thing. And so I've spent the past 18 months driving our neighborhoods from what a street looked like before we started building new homes on it and what it looks like now that we build new homes on it. And it happens, it gives me chills, but your next door neighbor suddenly mows a couple of more times, right? They look at painting maybe a little bit, their own selves. I mean, we're seeing them out there sweeping their stoop just a little bit more than what they were because suddenly the power of peer pressure, I use that often, it really happens. And they look down their street and go, oh gosh, I'm the ugly house in the neighborhood, and I don't want to be that. And I think we are naturally want to be proud of where we live. And so we're seeing that happen. And I will say that also part of this program criteria is that we are asking these homes to be sold to people who want to live as residents. We actually have a piece to our puzzle where we do a homestead affidavit. So these are folks we want to they're making an investment in Abilene. They're buying a home for their family, for whatever that looks like, their dogs, their loved ones, and they're starting an investment right here in Abilene, Texas. And we ask that they live there for a couple of years before they move on.
All right. So if I have a property, can I come to you and say, help? I need to build a house here.
You can. Now, this is the funny part about our program, if you will, or the sort of nuance, I should say, is that what this is it's really a builder developer incentive. And the idea is that this program, although we do have other programs that this could fit, however, in my program is it's a lot that has been purchased by a developer and then is going to sell it out. If you are a homeowner who needs help with your home, and you want to continue for it to be your home, this wouldn't be the program. We do have, our neighborhood services has several great programs that help with rehab, first home buyers, and those types of things. That's a federal grant program that gets managed through the city. In this case, this is very much devised as a catalyst for developers and builders to build, and then get those folks into the homes of that $200,000.
So then the $1 million that you were talking about,
right.
What does that go towards?
That goes to the incentive to the builder. Okay. So we, again, have some criteria inside in that, how the house has to be built, 1,000 square feet, it needs to be 3-bedroom, at least 1 bathroom, has to have a garage. We do require a garage, 4-foot type of fence around it, and grass. We do ask for some sod. And then they sell it for $203,000 at the maximum, and they receive a 15% cash incentive.
Oh.
And so that adds up, and that adds up to about 35 projects to meet that $1 million commitment.
So on the $200,000, that price, they would get the
15%.
15. Okay.
With our major renovations, we do have a little change in that as we get deep into this. But with our major renovations, most of our homes that we're doing those type of major renovations don't sell for $200,000. They're a little less. They're more of that. You would know better. $160,000, $180,000, and so that has moved to a $20,000 flat fee.
Okay.
Incentive. That is not a percentage incentive.
And then y'all only take so many builders.
No, it's first come, first serve.
Okay.
It is we were talking earlier about how quickly it fulfills. It is a first come, first serve basis program. We have no other stipulations other than the first time you show up. because it is a already very successful program and we know about it. What we do, trying to make it as even for everyone, is on, we hear from builders all year long, right? We start a prospect list and we get all the information out. And then ultimately we open up submissions a day and a time. They email on that day and time their submissions. We give you what that submission process looks like. It's not even an application that you're filling out. Mm-hmm. It's a couple of documents. And if you're a builder, those are pretty easy documents to come by. And then we take that as a timestamp. So we do that as an email because we timestamp it. Because we will receive submissions with seconds on that we will have to timestamp that. On our second year when we opened it, we had over 45 submissions with 30 to be able to take. And we fulfilled it in, I think it was like 6.5 minutes. Which is really amazing, and it's super exciting. I heard us talk about lots to build on, and so we may see that become now our next issue, right? We're hitting those empty lots hard and fast in our historical neighborhoods.
Do you provide a list of the empty lots?
We don't. What we can do, city doesn't technically have that, if you can imagine. So as Tonya knows, thing. It is. I was going to say, Central Appraisal District is a whole other interest, another piece to our puzzle, and so they are. I think they have some lists. We do have a list of course, within our city limits, we do have a city condemnation demolition process. It's a very long one, should you be in it. And so we go through a number of processes throughout a couple of years that would put you in a place where we've had to demo the property. It's a long list, and we do send that list out to anybody and everybody, because those are for us, right? Those like priority. Hey, we know this house has just been demoed and it needs love, and so here's a lot.
So who does the demo? Is that the city, or does the homeowner or lot owner have to do it?
It can be included in the program. So if they're accepted into the program and there is a demo that is necessary in our source, of course, it goes through all the checks and balances. Somebody might think it's demo, but it may not actually be ready for demo. We can, our property maintenance inspectors can go in there and go, actually, you can do these two things, and not always the case, but it ultimately, sometimes that's where we're at.
So if you're a builder and you want in the program, first you have to submit, and then you have to be approved, but then you've also got to go find your lots.
You do.
Okay.
And part of your submission is that you show that you're a lot owner, that you have ownership of a lot.
Oh.
Yes.
So the lot has to be owned not just by the homeowner or the lot owner, but it could be a builder that goes out there and buys a bunch of lots.
That's right.
All right. Is there a list of the streets that the city would like to, in their heart, I want to doll this neighborhood up so we can walk downtown when we have, special nights?
So this
was the
was
mayor's pub crawl,
right? Hello. Yeah. So yes, the short answer is yes. Many years ago, though, we have sort of brought new life to it. We have a neighborhood empowerment zone, what we call affectionately as our NEZ. And our neighborhood empowerment zone, a couple of things that are actually kind of neat about it, but our neighborhood empowerment zone is our immediate targeted neighborhood that we are looking to build inside. And then we have about 4 or 5 tertiary neighborhoods that are also included. Our neighborhood empowerment zone, the part of my smirk, though, is because it goes from about South 7th to I-20, almost to I-20, and goes Treadaway to Grape, Kirkwood, Grape, kind of right in there. So it's that, if you kind of think of downtown, sort of where we sit in downtown, it's due north downtown and then just a little bit south of downtown. So that's our neighborhood environment zone. That's our core historical neighborhood. And one of the things that I would be remiss to not mention about our NEZ is that even if you aren't in rebuild, even if you didn't make it into our grant program, if you build in the NEZ, if you are building, rehabbing, you've got to pay the city for a permit, basically, of some sort. That is waived. If you are in the neighborhood empowerment zone, that is an incentive we immediately automatically give to all of our builders. they do need to make sure to say it to our permits people. This is the address and it's in the NEZ, and we will waive those fees. That is just an extra perk of the NEZ. So anybody doing work that might have to pay the city in our neighborhood empowerment zone should be waived.
Wow. All right. So if there's some properties out there you're saying we have to apply, but then there's a time, you've got a special date coming up that we're going to be in line. So is it okay if I camp out at the front door the night before?
No.
It's not? I just found out that the city of Abilene, are you ready for this? The city of Abilene, without calling them names, you have to be a certain age, a certain type of person to get into certain buildings. Did you know that? What? I couldn't wait till I turned 18 so I could go out and do adult things. And then they moved it to 21. And then I couldn't wait to turn 21 so I could go out and do certain things. And now I find out that the only way you can get into the Rose Park Senior Citizens Ballroom is you got to be 55 years or older, or your spouse has to be 55 years.
I had a feeling we were going to Rose Park Senior Center. I've known Rudy for a little while. He must be there by now. Yes, it is true. Those pesky things. No, I will be honest. So we did have that conversation. Do we line them up and they show up at 4:00 in the morning waiting to submit?
Black Friday.
Right. I'm like, this is a great idea. I'm going to the city of Abilene with my paperwork.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right,
there are a couple of reasons that we don't do it. That we do it digitally. Is we have actually three entrances into City Hall. And there becomes just some overall security semantics of having humans line up with their pieces of paper and things. The other thing that a builder can have more than one project.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And so they have to submit each project by submission. And so if we line them up personally, I couldn't with clear heart, right, take the first person in line and they say, well, I have 25 projects. I have 25 lots ready to build.
Is there,
right?
Is there a limit?
You see what I'm saying? There isn't. No.
There's no limit? I could show up
somebody
with
could
all
own 35 lots.
They could. Now, that's why I'm making them submit an email individually every single time, every project.
One.
And that's also why that's why we have a second. I mean, somebody has 10 properties. I'm going to see the submission at 9:02:30, and then 4 emails later, I'm going to get a second property, and it's going to be at 9:02:44.
So I think what's interesting, too, is that you said y'all received like 40-something. I didn't even know there were that many builders.
There aren't. That was about 12 builders.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. I was like...
But there are that many builders.
Okay.
There are that many. Yes, ma'am. I bet the real estate industry feels this sometimes as well.
Yes.
Everybody's a builder.
That is true. But are they actually building?
They have, they get bonds and they get set up with us as a builder in town. I speak to more than you would know.
Okay.
All right, I got an idea.
Interesting.
I got an idea. Tonya, I got an idea. I'm going to go into building.
I know. I was thinking I'm going to be a builder too.
And I'm going to use my AI tool to submit them all at one time.
I had somebody ask me about a 3D printed house.
Oh, wow.
Have you had that one yet?
No.
I've been watching. Yeah, I've been watching across in terms of the market and the nation. It exists. A 3D printed home does exist. They build walls and those types of things. And I was like, it was a moment where we were all sort of like, uh-oh, we don't maybe have the greatest answer for this because we're just not there.
Right.
But I thought we better get ready.
Besides,
it's going to show up sooner than later.
What about fold out homes?
Like modular, fold out, yes.
They're already built, and they just show up on a big truck. The crane lifts it up, and then they start opening it up. And
those are great. Those would not fit within our program.
Oh, really?
But, we we're asking for you to go through sort of the traditional permitting process of a residential build, and so we have
no tiny houses.
Correct.
Okay.
And the great thing about this too is where these homes are located. Most buyers can, if they qualify, can get 100% financing from some of our banks too.
That is correct. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I know one of the banks that helps them out quite a bit.
Yeah, First Financial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're my fave because if you've got a place here in town, and I have a couple that are, on the other side of town that we're trying to get fixed up, but I've noticed that you've done quite a bit of fixing up, especially, like you said, north of the railroad tracks. And man, Ambler is looking good.
It is. And
and the road is too.
Hey,
you guys are improving.
We'll take it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that nod. I think that's also, it's just like everything's a domino effect, a build, a layer. And everything in all we do, right, in all of our worlds. But I think for us too, it's that, there was a time where we just didn't, our code compliance was not where it needed to be.
Right.
And so we have very, very smartly done that. We've got a team of about 13 now. We added property maintenance inspectors, which many communities don't even get to have. And that is literally that, making sure these homes are just staying upright. They're not going to catch fire, which means your house catches fire next, right. Or unfortunate cars being parked in parking in their driveway or, on their lawn that catches fire that then lights the whole neighborhood. And we do everything is so much of life safety that does give some great aesthetics, right? We want to be sure everybody's safe, and usually that keeps things looking good too, which is nice.
That's why we have a carport and a driveway
exactly.
and a garage.
That's right.
All right.
So you said they have to have a garage. Does it matter if it's one car or two cars?
One car is all we
garage.
Require.
Okay.
Yeah. We're seeing these builds, the new construction builds, we're seeing at about 1,200 square feet. It's about 1,150 or so.
And then does the fence have to be a wood picket fence, or can it be
chain link forfeit?
Okay. I've just seen some go up or be sold with chain link fences.
Yep.
Most of them have wood fences, so I was just wondering.
You don't like chain link, Tonya?
No, I don't care. I was just wondering.
Yeah, if we had the specific, we do not.
Yeah.
We ask for a forfeit privacy, but only 4 feet in chain link. I've seen difference.
Yeah, there's both.
Yeah.
I like the chain link because the dog can look out and see when I come in.
Less barking.
And it starts barking at the back door. Let me in, let me in, let me in. All right. So, and this is available. When is the opening date?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I need that information. The opening date. When do we start?
October 23rd.
Oh, all right.
Got 3 weeks.
All right. That is a Thursday. October 23rd is a Thursday.
At 9 a.m.
So if you don't own a lot and you're a builder, you better hurry up.
So I can hit send at 8:59:59:59?
9:00:00.
Okay. But then by the time it gets to you, because your computer...
It could be. Oh, man. Now we have that to deal with.
Yeah, because your computer's...
so intense.
Yeah.
But I will say these houses sell really well. I think buyers are really excited to get... a brand new house. And just like you said, it is so nice because it does make the streets look a lot better.
And those, I don't know what you call them, condos or whatever, over there in the Soda District are phenomenal. I'm like going, well, what? Yeah. And we had some country stars come in and buy a house out there, and they're leasing it out or whatever. It's Airbnb.
Two new foundations were poured yesterday.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Wow.
It's very exciting, and in terms of downtown, we're excited about it. So, and I will just before we end, any inquiries, including submissions, but from today on, please email rebuildabi@abilenetx.gov. That is, it goes to me directly and a couple of other fantastic folks in planning and development. So that's rebuildabi@abilenetx.gov. And you can find literally all of this information on abilenetx.gov, planning services.
And so this is every year around the same time.
That is right.
So if somebody did not own lots, obviously it would be hard to buy them by October 23rd. Maybe not if you already know of some, but so they could do it next year.
Exactly. And that's because we're now in our third year. Ultimately, we've just made a great snowball experience, right? The network is out there. And so we start hearing from people all summer long. We keep a very robust prospect list of all of our builders who just if anybody calls me and says, I just want to know, I take their email address, right? Because I don't want anybody to feel like they didn't get a quick shake at it, So I'm spamming a little bit, I guess, if you don't want it, but yeah. So so already I start sending out emails. Anybody who wants to know, get ready.
Yeah,
it's coming because we want to be successful, and I also want to be sure everybody's hearing what they need to hear when they need to hear it. So.
All right, Tonya. We've had some fun today. Now I'm going to go into business with you. We're going to go into the building.
We're going to start building some houses.
All right. Kate Alvarez, thank you very much. City of Abilene. Downtown coordinator. Once again, it's rebuildabi@abilenetx.gov. at AbileneTX.gov. Rebuild ABI at AbileneTX.gov. All right, thank you very much, Kate. Tonya, are we doing anything this weekend? Are we showing some houses? Maybe around this area? Maybe you got a couple of them? You know?
Well, we always have lots of open houses on our Facebook page.
Always check it out. It's TonyaHarbin.com, TonyaHarbin.com. Hit the big pink button. It turns into green for you if you want to find out what your property is worth, or give her a call, 325-603-3550, 325-603-3550, or Facebook at Tonya Harbin Team. Oh, and start packing. You're going to be moving soon.